Let me begin by saying this. I am not an anarchist. I am not against government. I'm against too much government. Every nation needs some form of governance, but it should be minuscule. A government or a country should be run by the people, as we are supposed to be, of the people, for the people, and by the people. So why do we have so much government interference in all of our personal lives? So I am not an anarchist, as I said. I am truly a patriot of this country that we call America. Now, unbeknownst to some, people like myself, we receive a lot of flack from those individuals that want to say that we're not patriots. Why? Because we don't follow the status quo. It's really what the answer is. And the status quo is not necessarily for the people. It's only to enrich the most powerful people, the 1% that control and run everything. So I wrote something, and I want you to hear this just for a moment, and then I'm done. Does our government care about us? Just a few points. We are kept in a low state of awareness, the American people. The government allows colleges to ruin our credit with student loan debt. But this is the government that loves us as the people, right? So many people have gone bankrupt, become depressed, suicidal, alcoholics, and the list just goes on of all of the negative things that have affected people who owe college loans. Most people that I have known and come across in my life that have gone to college and have had even several degrees are working in restaurants as waitresses and cooks and pizza joints. But they have a surmounting amount of debt, student loan debt, that is. And this includes doctors. Okay? That's one point. The IRS threatens our very existence with fear tactics, levies, etc. Internal Revenue Service, fear and intimidation. They use these tactics as they have since their very inception, very beginning. Why? Why are you threatening the people of this country, this nation? Are we going to take something from you for not paying your fair share, for not paying your taxes for your work? Those taxes are important. This is the topic of another discussion somewhere down the road, but just real quick footnote. Number one, the origin of the IRS was in Puerto Rico. Look it up in your spare time. That's where the headquarters is. Number two, Internal Revenue Service is not from America. It is a foreign institution that's been supplanted in America. And it's not collecting taxes for the sake of building roads, bridges, and paying civil servants salaries and so forth. It has nothing to do with that at all. The IRS's main job is to collect money from the taxpayers under the guise of these other things that I just mentioned, saying that you're being taxed for your labor, for example. But it's under the guise of that. Their real intent is to extract money from the population so that they can pay back the debt that America owes their foreign bankers, that they're indebted to. You can read that in your leisure time as well. I continue on. Does the government listen to your phone calls? Ask Edward Snowden. This man had to go to another country to avoid being assassinated by America. Why? Because he was a whistleblower. He told the truth. The United States has always touted that they're trying to protect the American people and that we want to keep you safe. So we're tapping these phones and these potential terrorist cells and organizations and so forth. But all along, they've been tapping our phones as well. I myself personally, over the years, have heard conversations on my line that was not between me and the party that I was talking to. Yes, I have. Have you? Do that research too. So Edward Snowden worked for the government. They wanted to try to deduce him to some little small incident saying that he just got his hands on some information, but the man worked in a department whereby he knew that the United States was actually tapping every citizen's phone calls. Okay, you can think about that. So we don't have the freedom of speech, because freedom of speech means freedom of speech being unabridged, not interfered with, but it's a matter of what you say. If you say something that's going to affect the population overall and it's going to be in a positive sense, somebody's going to come looking for you. Somebody's going to come knocking on your door, because you can't say anything that's going to free the people, because they want to keep us oppressed, all of us. Now, as far as the freedom of speech is concerned, ask Kevin Trudeau, the author of Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. He got 10 years for his freedom of speech. Do the research on your own as far as concerning him. Does the government care about our health? Ask the food manufacturers who steadily continue to put chemicals in our food that's supposed to be regulated by the FDA, Food and Drug Administration. If they care about your health, why does our great government still allow food manufacturers to put GMOs, high fructose corn syrup, all of these preservatives and chemicals and colors and dyes and so forth in our food supply and even in our water that we consume every day, if they care about the people? So when we become ill as a result of this bad food that we're receiving, then we are pushed to the hospitals where we meet the doctors that prescribe, guess what? None other than pharmaceutical drugs, which are poisonous to us. All for the sake of what, brother teacher, you might ask? Greed and profit. That's the reason. So at the end of the day, it's all about money. It's all rose-colored glasses and smoke and mirrors and smoke being blown up your behind. Yours and mine. But not anymore, because I'm aware, and I'm actively aware, which means that I've taken steps to try to free myself and my family and those that will listen from this tyranny that's been enacted by our so-called government. You are important, American people. You have to believe that you are important. You have to stop believing that everything someone tells you is the truth. I don't want you to believe what I'm saying without researching it. Whatever I tell you, it is true. You can believe that what I'm saying to you is true, and it is, and I'm telling you it's true. But I'm also encouraging you to follow up with what I'm saying, to be convinced and convicted in your own heart that what I'm telling you is true. And once you find it to be so, then you'll know for yourself. I'm not just blowing smoke, as many of our politicians and our church leaders and some of our congressmen and our senators, judges and lawyers want to push out. What else can I say? Does the government care about you? Was my original question. After those things that I just touched on just a tidbit, what do you think? Now, there will be those of you that will listen to this little rant that I'm throwing out here right now, and you will say, he's crazy, he's foolish, he's lost his mind. Really? Why don't you just simply do the research? It's not going to take you that long. You would do the research if you really cared to. know the truth. But for those who don't do the research and you criticize me and people like me, you already sealed your fate. You already believe what you believe. And I can't change that. I'm not going to try to change it. I'm here to offer some information to those that will listen and allow those scales to fall from their eyes. Allow that facade that's been placed before all of us all of these years of our lives to make us believe that what's going on is the actual truth, when there's something behind closed doors going on. We are indeed in a matrix. The scary thing is that so many of us don't even know it. This is Brother Teacher. I'm out.